Hey, this is Basil Wolf from Grayson Hobby, and today we're gonna go over the Eachine
E010S.
I think we're close now. All right, Will, we got the Q710S something.
What is it called? The E010S.
Yay, okay. This was a prototype, so that's why it didn't come in the right box and it didn't come with the
That's what they're shipping. That's what they ship in.
Manual. Really?
Yep.
Oh, well, hey, it comes in the wrong box. So what do you got there, Will?
It's a drone.
They're not drones, they're quadcopters.
We did a video of these. Everybody loves these things. It's a great introduction to FPV, getting started. Well, you've flown it, you enjoyed it, you're ready for something more, you want to upgrade motors, you want a different flight controller, you want to start running a different radio, etc. We got the next step there. It's called the E010S.
S.
This one,
that is a C.
Very similar to what the E010C is with the camera and all that, except this has a clean flight, Betaflight driven flight controller with USB connection, so you can hook up to the computer. It has the hot motors on it, the more of the racing style motors versus the lower kV stock motors. It uses a different battery connector, and it has a lighter frame. The frame's actually a different material now, so it's not as rigid, unfortunately, but it is lighter.
So it's lighter.
Yes.
So before we get in, there are gonna be three flavors. You're gonna have your Spectrum model, your Fly Sky, or your Tyrannus, and then your Fly Sky models. And so there'll be three separate. They'll have three different options on the site. Unlike this guy, he was just basically a plug-in.
Yeah, it came with the basic little radio that was included. This is ones that are now hobby grade. This is that Tory introduction style. This is what I would consider hobby grade. This is when you start messing with the computer that I always talk about. It's a great introduction to learn clean flight, beta flight, stuff like that, and play around with it without the scariness of playing with brushless ones that potentially put you in the hospital if you do the wrong thing.
So it kind of looks similar to the Inductrix in terms of propellers and stuff like that. Is that what it uses? Same propellers?
Same props. Okay. They come with the extra set of props. These are orange, but I believe they're the same props that the E010C has and all that, so you can change colors if you want.
So you said motors are hotter, so those probably just spin faster. All right, what kV is it? So
coming from like the E010C, they have, I believe it's 44,000 RPM motors, whereas the E010S, the sport model, has 59,000 RPM motors.
So a lot faster motor.
Yeah, so it's got a good performance increase. One, you're dealing with a little bit less weight, and you got more power, so it's going to fly better. It's more like a true acro whoop or something like that.
Does the camera come pre-installed?
Yeah, this one actually out of the box, I took it out of the boxes, as you see. I think the only thing I did was add the rubber band, if I remember. These do require, like you see in some of the other videos, like the QX90C video, the setup videos, you will need to have to set up the computer and set your endpoints and flight mode and stuff like that. The manual that comes with it is very, very, very basic. So I would recommend these for guys that kind of know what they're doing. They already have experience with it.
So how does this compare to like the Inductrix or Tiny Whip?
It's a lot like it, oddly. Not like it looks like anything like one or something like that, but it flies just like my Inductrix with the same motors in it.
So it's a Tiny Whoop Inductrix killer, basically, right? Is that what they call it?
By the time you take an Inductrix, change the motors, change the camera, change the flight controller, you're at the same thing.
But it's going to be a lot less money because the Inductrix is $100
plus the motors, plus the
yeah. So you're looking at 125, 130, depending on what motors, 140. Compared to like $70 right there.
Yeah, and this one
about half the price. Wow.
The factory battery is only a 150. Unlike the early Inductrix that had low voltage cutoff issues where the battery would barely run and then it would die. These don't have a low voltage cutoff, which is good and bad. Bad because if you over discharge the battery, you can hurt the battery and the radio could eventually lose link and it goes to failsafe. But also good the fact that you don't have to, when you punch the throttle 30 seconds later, it's not falling in the sky because it's low voltage. So these don't, as far as I know, they don't have a low voltage cutoff of any sort.
So make sure you get some extra battery packs because these things do go pretty quick.
Battery flight is pretty short on them. I believe it's about 2.5 minutes or so.
Which is comparable to the Inductrix, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's only 150 milliamp battery. It does have the room to fit probably up to a 300 milliamp and still carry the weight.
Looks like it's got, how's the antenna compared to the 10C? Is it
the camera's actually the same. It's a double-sided tape that holds it with a rubber band, similar setup. They are sharing the same camera, the EF02, I believe.
Yeah.
They're sharing the same camera here. One thing I really like about this that I haven't seen on other flight controllers, the USB being back here. It's very easy to get to. The B cores, B brains, all those flight controllers out there, they're usually pretty hard to get to the USB port. Good thing it's easy to get. Things don't really have enough weight to really, you have to hit pretty hard to break something, but it is in a nice spot, easy access to get to the USB.
Outside flying at all, or not really?
I tried flying outside the same day I flew the Frog. So I normally don't even fly my versus quads in winds like this, but since I said it, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, it's not doing bad, man, really. I thought
it was windy. This had no chance on the wind, guys. I would say this is pretty much reserved as an indoor-only flyer, in my opinion.
If it has more power than the Inductrix, then it's probably going to be like a
it's
big
quick
indoor.
For inside. It's quick for inside. I feel that this is not really an outdoor quad. It's so small. It shines in the indoor. So something like the QX70, similar thing. I still like my QX70 for inside and all that, but I think being as light as this is, and the smaller motors and all that, I think it might actually fare a little better in the house, not damaging things when it hits things, because the other one has enough weight. Hit your TV, you could actually damage the screen or something like that.
QX70, right?
The QX70. This one, I don't think it has enough weight to do anything. One thing I will note, though, is a lot of pictures and all that, the manufacturer's pictures actually showed O-ring or rubber grommets holding the flight controller on. Does not seem to be the case, guys. Looks like they scratch that idea and hard mount the flight controller straight to the board. I did not notice any vibration issues or noise or drift because of that, so I don't think it matters. Worst case scenario, add a little bit of filtering, or maybe put an O-ring or a rubber band, cut up a rubber band, put it underneath it. But it does not come with the rubber dampeners on it, like the aftermarket flight controllers have, or the Inductrix has. So that is one thing to note, that you may see it in pictures, but it actually, our model did not even come with them, and I haven't seen anybody report them coming with them either.
Gotcha.
So.
Now, how are the motor? Are they, if you bust up a motor or you fry a motor, are they easy to replace?
Well, that's one thing. Over the E010C, that was soldered on motors, kind of like the older Eachines, this one follows suit with the QX90, QX70, and it's got the plug-in motors.
Okay, I was worried about that.
So these actually share the same connectors as the Inductrix, so if you have Inductrix aftermarket motors, you can put them in as well, so if you got spare motors. The flight controller, from what I understand, it looks like it will fit in Inductrix as well, other than the USB being in the way of the body. But it looks like a lot of it's interchangeable kind of thing. So I think this is definitely a cool step for if you want to be able to get parts easy and stuff like that. These motors will fit in Inductrix as an upgrade, yes.
Oh, cool. All right, well, there you go. All right, ready to fly?
I got to charge the battery, but yeah, let's come back to it later.
Let's weigh it. All right, so we got the E010C, the beginner's model with camera.
Yeah, it's got that.
No battery is coming up at 19.3 grams. All right.
No battery. E010S, we're at 20.5.
Wow. So let's get him over there.
But we're at 22.3. So that's
put that plate.
All right, take out the plate. Yeah, but the Inductrix sucks without the spar. 21.5.
So it's still heavier.
So we got heaviest to lightest, and we're up.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm actually only half. There's not much to this, guys. This is definitely a quad base for people already have B cores, B brain flight controllers, all that.
So does it suck for beginners? Yes.
Yeah.
Does it suck for people who know what they're doing? Absolutely not.
No. This is the micro FPV quad for guys that know what they're doing, plain and simple.
Yep. And who are too lazy to build their own tiny whoop.
Yeah.
Fast for inside a house. It's too small for outside.
Out of the box is too nimble. I think if it was dumbed down, like the QX70, actually the rates are lower, which I think that one still, I like the way that flies out of the box with the prop change on it. I think that one flies much more stable, much more beginner friendly for a brushless quad or a brush quad. This one almost seems like they were straight up going for more thoroughbred, tiny whoop, almost more of a racer out of the box.
This would be more specialized.
Yeah.
All right, so subscribe and give us a like and give us some comments below. What do you think about this video? And stay tuned for our next video, which is gonna be